Hey guys, I'm here, but I don't have your questions finished yet because I still had to work. And then we had a big list of OB and hip picks and hypertension questions to compile, and I'm not done compiling those yet after work. So if y'all want to work on these diagnosis questions and keep yourselves company while I'm working on today's questions, which I do have. I just need to put them in a format for you. So y'all work on that one. And I'll come back in a minute and make sure these are formatted halfway correctly, hopefully, for you guys. All right, I'm gonna change the font. All right, and then this one. This up. Y'all can still put in chat what you think the answer is, and we'll go over it in just a minute. Change that. I've got all the questions. I just have to put them in a format and make sure I added the right answer to the right question. Because sometimes they're just all over the place. So many pregnancies. We're going to be sick of these. They look like the same questions over and over and over again, too. So no telling what this is going to turn out to be. We'll just have to make this one a fill in the blank. Y'all will like that, won't you? We're supposed to have some fill in the blanks at some point anyway, right? All right. What have y'all got going on here in whatever I pulled up? What did I pull up? This was a duck class question. Hey guys. Yeah, the live will be repeated. Let's give away some memberships. So if you haven't yet, be sure and chat. Put stuff like, when's your certification exam coming up? What state you're in? Or just, hello, Jen. Thank you guys for giving me the thumbs up too on the YouTube video. This one, let's see if you guys got it right. Did y'all get B? I think y'all did. I think everybody got B on that one. Let me make this one the correct size so y'all can see it. And there's the next question. Yay! We got Eiley, Marcella, Flower, Tamara, and Miriam. Yay! I know you missed those duck classes. I know. I just can't even get 4 lessons out for you guys in the afternoons, so I can't make more room for duck classes yet, but I'm working on it. Retired one of these days. All right. Y'all work on the next question while I'm dealing with these babies. Questions. Lots of OB delivery. I have hip picks questions. I have lab and path too, actually. But I don't know if we'll get to everything. Whatever we don't get to, we'll do again on Tuesday. some diagnosis for pregnancy. Move that on top. Put that below. And resize this font. Anybody got Miss Bixby? What's her diagnosis for today? I'm feeling better, just unprepared. I've been trying to work up all these OB questions today in between lunch and meetings and stuff, and just didn't have enough time to prepare them all. We've got some A's and B's. The first thing you got to figure out is what section of the book are you going to be in, right? Are you in the F's or are you in the symptoms? What did they diagnose her with today? Are there any guidelines that go along with any of these, like code first or code additionally? These have 2 diagnoses. These have 3. She's being admitted for this, but she has a possible. We are going to do B with our little symptoms, right? Hey, Christine. Good to see you. Ooh, this one will be on your exam. And if you've been around me long enough, you know what the answer is based off looking at the answers. This type of question will definitely be on your exam. Most definitely. E&M question. Love it. Ooh, this one's a good question. I like this one. Move that there. Our little duck class, you guys know you're just looking for that 5th digit to say your number 5, usually if there's a adverse reaction. And then you know your answer right away. Super easy peasy. Just look for that number 5. What do we think about this chemotherapy question? Don't forget, look at your different headers of those sections. Think about your headers before your descriptors. Okay, good. Got that one. I gotta change the font. Font size. And our HitPix codes. Working on the HitPix ones now for tonight. Hopefully I'm not disappointing y'all too bad. But I'm almost there. Medicare patient. I don't know what they mean by that, but we'll figure that out. Chemotherapy? What y'all think? Thank you, Go-Kart. B is correct. You guys got that one right too. All right. another one. One more, and then we'll get started on OB and delivery. I just want to look over them one more time, make sure they're correct, and then we'll be good to go. Well, there'll probably still be errors because I had to run through these so fast, but anyway, I just want to go through them one more time. Make sure the formatting is correct. Okay, we've got that. I hate those little thingies. Get rid of that. We'll start off with some anatomy after we get through with this question. OB note. Oh yeah, this one's 1, 2, 3 pages long, and it's fill in the blank. We're going to pick out our CPT code, and we're going to pick out 4 diagnoses by ourselves. Because maybe they'll do that one of these days. I don't know. But we'll see. Maybe. I got 2 pages on that one. And separate out you. You got misput. And then you're not not in the right spot. Need a space. And I did not put an answer to that one, but we'll know what that answer is. This one. Those all look just fine. Maybe. What did we get on our duck class question here? When was this one? This duck class was January 27th of 2023. It was a while ago. Let's see. Y'all are saying C? We've got 1 hour and 32 minutes of hydration. Normally we don't code for normal saline, but because it's in every answer, we'll leave that alone. But yep, C is correct. If our question had said 1 hour and 30 minutes, then A would have been the correct answer. Very cool question right there. All right, let me get back to our OB and delivery. I only needed 30 more minutes to prep the questions. Sorry about that. Let me switch to today's questions. Rapid fire anatomy. Which of the following is a lesser gland? You guys ought to know this one because I harp about this question all the time. Maybe Diana, but I haven't even looked. You know, from the time I got off last night till now, I had work, kids, and prepping for today's class. So I haven't even looked at emails today. But I will. Yes, Patrice. Perfect. Good job. Excellent. Let's give away another membership. So you guys, be sure and comment in chat. How many do I still have on? I only got 20 of you guys on and 7 thumbs up so far on today's live. It's awesome. Yay, Daniela. Congratulations. I hope that membership helps out. All right. Of course, B is correct. What about this one? I know you guys know this one. Perfect, Mabel. Perfect. Yep. Uterus. Perfect. Which one is tubular, muscular, from the uterus to the outside of the body? Perfect. Oh, wait a minute. Somebody said A. Who said A? Does the cervix go to the outside of the body? What goes to the outside? Outside of the body. What is external? External. External. There you go. There you go. Yep. Here's another one. Which one is external OS? Now you're looking for, yeah, you got to be careful. Sometimes, yeah, I get crazy. Now you're going to be looking for that word cervix, right? This one is going to be your cervix. Yep, perfect. And which of the following organs is not part of the endocrine system? Endocrine? I'm gonna trick some folks tonight on this one too. Nice. I would have had so much fun with these if I was doing it right from the beginning. I still am not certain I see a correct answer. Oh, wait a minute. Maybe one correct answer. Thank you guys for the 10 thumbs up. Good to see we got 6 new members in our YouTube membership. And now we've got 26 people on. Lymph nodes. Yes, lymph nodes are not part of your endocrine system. We were looking for an incorrect answer, and sometimes those are harder to find. All right. First thing we see is remember your second and third digits are key here. Super helpful to know that this is the natural delivery and this are all C-sections. And you can know that just by your second and third digits. So what was the outcome of the delivery? Not sure if they have. Whatever I grabbed this question from has the correct rationale with it. Because as I'm sitting here reading this going, I know what the answer should be. I think they have the wrong answer down on this one when we come up with the rationale. Yeah, why did they put this? And is D that answer? See, there's a different answer as D. That's not the correct rationale that goes with this one for some reason. That's why you don't want to go to Quizlet and grab questions and stuff, because you'll find questions and answers that are mismatched. But yes, we know right away that A is our answer for this one, so just ignore whatever we got going on here. This one is cool. It's from my COC course, and part of the COC course just gives you a delivery note or some sort of op note from the hospital, and you have to code it from beginning to end all by yourself without any hints. it'll just tell you you have one CPT code and you've got 4 diagnosis codes you need to do. Did you need me, James? I thought you had some on your desk.
Those are for like sore throats. It numbs your throat.
Okay, let me look real quick. Let me find him some cough drops. So y'all look at this, and we're going to do this without the ABCD answers, and we're going to look up our CPT and our 4 diagnoses ourselves. Cough drops. You're welcome. He's done got a barky seal cough. Okay. So let's think about our CPT code. Let me get out my camera. And how can we access? Okay, so he's barking like a seal. I'm trying to answer your question. Are you gonna, let me see, this window capture. Does that work? Okay, right here at YouTube, when you're here, on the main page, it'll say right there in the center, past streams. They all show up right here, and you'll see how many hours ago it was when I streamed it. So today's will be there, of course. And then here's the upcoming for Tuesday is going to be our next one. And then I'm live now, so it's right here. Don't forget to go to the community tab, guys. I've got practice exam questions right here with rationale that y'all can play around and play with. And go to the playlist. And the fastest and most efficient way to practice for your exam once you've got all your books prepped is my workshop. Go here to the workshop thing, and those workshops are great because it's just 75 questions. None of my kids are running around, and we're just going from question to question. Of course, my duck classes are good too because that's 2 hours instead of 3, but they're advanced questions too. But just go into the home page here on YouTube and you will see the past lives right there. Super helpful. That's how you find this later. And where is my Word document? Word, and turn you back on. Okay. So what was the outcome of this pregnancy or delivery? What did we do? What did we do? We delivered the placenta, blah, 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 but how was the baby? Baby came out. How? So we know, and we got to see our patient's history to make sure she's never had a C-section before. And that will help us, because if our second and third digits are 5, 6, or 9, 6, 9, 6, then we know we might end up being 9, 5 or 9, 6. Gravida 3 means she's had 3 pregnancies before. P1 means 1 pregnancy went to full term and she delivered a live baby. Those are helpful to know. Do we have any information on whether this physician did any of her prenatal care or postnatal care? That will also help us to determine which one of the CPT codes we should use. What do you guys think? It does say here that she'll return in 6 weeks, so it looks like we will be doing post-op. We did know her history. It does say she has been followed by the OB clinic for the past 12 normal visits, so that's awesome. So it does look like it's a global code. What do you guys think that global code is? I know it's going to start with a 5, and it's going to have a 9 in it. What do you think the rest of the digits are going to be? You're welcome. I can help you out with a question. Are the advertisements getting in the way, or can you guys hear me? If we're in our CPT book, even if it's not marked, you know the 9-4s, 59400 is for a natural delivery. If we're in the 9-5s, we're doing a cesarean. And then if we're in the 9-6s, we're doing a combo one. We've done a previous C-section. We're going to try natural today, but we may end up doing another C-section. What do you guys think? Where are we going to be? Thank you for the 12 likes. It's good to see all 25 of you guys spending your Friday nights with us. Patrice is going C-section for today, and Padme is going a natural delivery. Sorry, I'm trying so hard not to say that word because I'm not sure if it's allowed, and I don't want the video to get in trouble. So, it says our placenta was delivered spontaneous with gentle traction and fundal massage, and it was intact. Vaginal, and cervix examined for lacerations. They did reveal a small laceration, and they did sew that up, which they also sometimes call an episiotomy. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. I know I'm not. Episiotomy. I'm getting close. But those are things that you're going to look for when they have a natural delivery, right? So yeah, we're going to be in the 9-4s. I agree with Padme. And it does look like we did prenatal. Because of this word, right? And then the last words of the visit say here, we'll see her back in 6 weeks. So it looks like it's going to be a total global. So we'll just simply do the 59400. Good job. Good try, Miss Sheila. $9,430. That's just for the post-op care only, but yeah. We're doing for the facility, which means where she's at right now, delivering the babies. Diagnosis code-wise. We know that she's going to have 4 diagnoses. Hopefully, which book is this? This is 2024. I probably won't have any examples in here. I need to get out my 2023 one. But I probably don't have much OB in here yet. No. If we were lucky and you've done your book prep for this year, it would be nice for these fill in the blanks, especially, is if you had some OB examples in your book. I do have some OB notes you can purchase on the website if you want them. Some of them, like even for my prenatals that have just gestational hypertension, I went on and put those in my normal hypertension code area, even though I might be just gestational. So some things I'll have in both places because I never know where I'm going to be when I put my examples in the book. But OB is good to put lots of examples in your book. That way you see the most common. Natural delivery, go on and put a C-section baby in there, go on and put a set of twins, and some genetic disorders are also right after delivery. Good to put in there in the cues right afterwards. But if you don't have any examples in your book, we know we're going to need to have at least something about a laceration during delivery, right? This 070 code, we're going to need one of those. She just had a small one, so we can probably, did he say what kind of degree it was? A 2nd degree one. Perfect. So we can come on right down here and find our 2nd degree little tear. So there's one. Then we can talk about what else? Probably our did the baby have fetal distress? Apgar was 8-9. They did have slow progression during stage 2. She had meconium staining was present. So that meconium staining, probably. Yep. We're going to be here in our 0770 right there for our meconium being present during the delivery. And then we're going to need the final outcome, right? Our status codes. So we'll have a couple of status codes are, what is our normal delivery codes? Gonna have over here in our Z37, which is super popular for our diagnoses for outcome of deliveries. She just had a single live birth, right? So we'll need our Z37, single live birth. And then we just need probably the weeks she was when she finished being pregnant, which is right over here with that Z3A codes. And we just go through the note and find out how far along she was. 31 years old, but how many weeks was she? She's 39 and 4 to 7 days, weeks gone. Perfect. So we've got our tear or laceration. We've got our status codes for the live birth and weeks, and then we've got the Makonnen. So those are the things that we would diagnose her with. Hopefully that makes some sort of sense. I only have 2 of these to do tonight, but with that COC course, they do have, each chapter gets 10 questions to do self, put in the correct codes without an A, B, C, D answer, and they're fill in the blanks. They give you one exam that is fill in the blanks with as many attempts as you want, and it's ungraded. And then they have one that is those exact same questions and answers again, but then this one's graded. So you can do it twice, but you can do it just the once and get the good grade, and move on. So yeah, there's the answers for that one. It's good practice to be able to fill in the blanks without having the A, B, C, D answers. All right, we've got another one here. Looks a lot like the last one we did. We've got 3 of them that are in the 95s and 1 that's in the 94. What was the outcome of the delivery? We did twins, and they were both done by cesarean. So you know we're not going to go with C, right? Because C is natural delivery and global. So we'll get rid of that one. What do you think the answer is for this one? Be sure and put your answers in chat. What modifier goes under NCCI? He's barking up a storm, bless his heart. NCCI is a list of rules that tell you when to do things. So I'm not sure what you mean by what modifier goes under NCCI, because NCCI is a list of correct coding initiatives. There are procedure by procedure edits that are listed, and under it, it'll tell you when to use an atomic, like right, left, or upper eyelid, lower eyelid modifiers. Based off that, you can go to the CMS website and they'll have an NCCI FAQ library listed there, and you can look at all the different and download the latest version of all the NCCI edits. I do download them and add them to my CPT notes because I find it's super helpful. But they don't really affect the medical coding certification exam, because they're basing the course and stuff is based off of you guys' knowing how to use the books, and NCCI edits are not inside the book, so they're not going to ask you anything about that unless they're going to give you the NCCI edits, and that'll be an extra PDF that's on the exam and you can pull it up and read it. But like right now I'm on the CMS Gov website, Medicare, under NCCI edits, and they have a Q&A that's pretty cool that you can go to and you can read all about it and download the latest version of the NCCI edits. But yep, 59 is there, but lots of them are there. So, big open-ended question. But I don't know. Hopefully that's helpful for you. Correct. Good job, guys. You guys know that we're only going to use one code because we only have one belly to do a C-section on, right? Even though we have 2 babies being born, but we only need the one code. Perfect. Don't let all these codes freak you out. If you saw this question on your exam, remember, stay focused. Up here at the very front, we're only looking at this first CPT code. We're not going to care about what comes on after that yet, okay? We've got 194, which is a natural delivery. Then we've got our combo, and combo codes. So let's see what's going on with this delivery and what was the outcome. Allowed her to attempt, pushing for 3 hours. She became exhausted and they decided to do a C-section. Even though she had a previous C-section, they went on and tried to do it today. So we know right away we can get rid of anything that isn't going to start out with at least a C-section code, right? We have a lot of modifiers. We've got a 22 modifier with this 9-6, or we have the 5-9 and 5-9. What would we normally use? And what's the difference between the 20 and the 18? You can also look at diagnoses. 2 of the answers have this 075. One answer has 030. And one answer looks like I don't know what that is, but I think they attempted to do that again. What would be your diagnosis is? How far along was she? 36 weeks? Do you have your 36 week listed in all the answers? There's 2 with 36 weeks, right? I always find that's helpful. We got one brave soul. Says D. Might have another A. Same physician is going to do post-op care. That's helpful to know. Trace, good. Would you do 18 and 18? Is that what you would do? Or do you do the 18 and 20? What does the 18 code have in it? It has routine OB care, a cesarean delivery, post-op care, attempt to vaginal after previous. The 20 is just cesarean delivery only, following the attempted of a previous. It does not include the prenatal care or the post-op care. How many mamas do we have in this example that can get prenatal care? Because this says you had 2 mamas, right, that got all prenatal care and all post-op care. So think about it that way when you're trying to pick answers. It would be double of everything that's in that, right? So if you're going to pick the 18 twice, then that means you had prenatal twice. Now, I have seen a lady who could not get pregnant forever and ever have a surrogate who gets pregnant, utilizing health plans. Gets interesting. So usually ends up having to be cash. But we still have to code this stuff. We still have to code it even if people are paying cash. But the lady ended up getting pregnant too. Famous actor. And they were going to deliver closely at the same time. We might have ended up with 2 patients, 2 mothers with 2 prenatal and post-op care. Now, the deliveries being on the same day would be extraordinarily rare, but yeah, if you think hard enough, you can find a scenario for everything. But that's why B is the answer. So, and why C would not be the answer is because you got the 18 down twice, and 18 is the fuller code because it has more stuff in it. Prenatal, post-op care. So, easy way to rationale that one out and think about it. We got another one. It's a combo code. We've got 3 that are just C-sections, the first time they've ever had a C-section. Let's see if we can find anything This one presents today for a C-section. We don't have any history at all. So we can get rid of our combo code, right? Our 9-6. All three of the answers have the 39 in it that matches how many weeks they are, so that's not going to be helpful this time. There is a diagnosis difference, either an 82 or an 064, that might be helpful if the CPT codes are too rough for you. But just looking for similarities, you know, the 82 and the 82 and C and D are super similar. The only difference is it's a 15 or a 14. What's our differences? 5, 9, 5, 14, and our 15. One is delivery only, and one of them includes post-op care. Do we have anything here that lists that we're going to see that patient afterwards? What do you guys think the answer is for this one? You're welcome. Keep your comments coming in chat. Let's do another giveaway. Thank y'all for liking the live. I hope this is helpful. Gloria, yay! If the answer is B, 9510, where am I at? 9510. That code includes prenatal, postnatal, and delivery. 14 is just the delivery only, and 15 is the delivery and post-op care, meaning 6 weeks later. I don't see anything in this note at all that says that they saw the patient for 12 visits prenatal. I don't see anything in the note that says follow up in 6 weeks for post-op care. It's just missing. So B would be 3 things being billed. C is 1 thing being billed. And D is 2 things being billed. The delivery and the post-op care. This is just the delivery. This is prenatal, delivery, and post-op. Now what do you think the answer is? C, just the delivery only. Another one, don't freak out when you see these on the exam. Again, just department-wise yourself, right? We've got another 94, which is all of our natural delivery, and then we've got C-sections, right? Normal C-sections. What was the outcome of our delivery? Performed a cesarean. So we know A's out the door, right? Check to see if our 30 weeks is in every one of the answers? I don't see it in D, do we? Because 30 will be right here on the tail end of the very last code, right? So that gets rid of D. Now we're down to a 50-50 shot. Now our differences are B does not have a modifier, or B has a modifier of 22 in answer C. C is 22 is increased procedure. Do we do that in OB and delivery? None of that really matters. First baby was delivered here. Second baby was born by C-section. Both babies are healthy. How are we gonna, do we have one CPT code with an increase modifier, or do we do two CPT codes with the 51 modifier, letting them know that we did actually do two procedures? Well, when you've ripped open the body of a human being, set their bladder up on top of their chest, you would not believe what goes on in the middle of a C-section unless you've been on it. You've clamped back all their internal organs and stuff, taken out their bladder. It's sitting up there right up to underneath their boob, hanging out sometimes. It's funny. You can't really, I mean, you've done pretty much as you can do to a patient as far as an increased service. I'm glad too. Thanks, Go-Kart. This one is B. This right here will always be your answer for when you have twins born, one by C-section, one by natural delivery. This is the answer. This is the sequencing of that answer. It will always be these two CPT codes. Get them in your CPT book. Write them down. Twins, one natural, one C-section. Here you go. Here's the answer. It will always be the answer. That will make things a lot easier. That's what I use in my notes for you guys. I have a little chart in my notes that, okay, if it's one baby here, if it's two by C-section, here's the answer. That kind of stuff. I just have a chart and keep them going. Super easy. All right, next one. Same thing. We've got another natural with the C-sections. What was the outcome? They did a C-section on the second baby. We know right away what our answer is going to be. It's going to be two codes. It's definitely not going to be 94. We're going to do the 10 with the 9, 10 with the 9. We get rid of C. So B and D have the same answers. So we've got the babies. Now it's just going to be a difference between our diagnosis codes here. And what's missing out of one of the answers? How many weeks, right? Y'all can do these super fast. Out of B and D, which one's missing your weeks? without even opening a book. You've got it now, right? Because we got to have those weeks in there. Yep. This one I didn't have any A, B, C, or D with it at all, but I liked it because I know VBAC is on somebody's exam right now. Somebody keeps trying to mention this, and somebody thought that that meant it was a C-section today. And that was the code that they used because they saw the VBAC. But that's not what that means. It means we're going to attempt a natural delivery after the patient had a C-section. They may still go natural, which is fine. But if they end up having to have another C-section, then great. Then, I mean, but that's not what the VBAC means. But it does mean that they're going to attempt it, right? TOLAC, trial of labor after cesarean, is another acronym that they like to use. I know some question on some version of the CPC exam has that VBAC, and I want to make sure y'all know what the answer would be and not assume it's going to be a 9.4 or it has to be a 9.6 because it could end up being a 9.5. What was the outcome? What's going on with this one? During labor, the uterus ruptured. Oh my. They end up doing an emergency C-section, immediately followed by a hysterectomy due to her uterus ruptured. I've only had that happen one time in my labor and delivery situation. We've had a heart attack happen too, in a healthy physician who had been running on a treadmill not a week before she delivered, healthy as a horse. She had a heart attack while she was delivering. That was crazy, but had somebody have a emergency hysterectomy for a ruptured uterus. It is the scariest thing you will ever witness, because there is, unless you are, you got to have a lot of hands on deck. You can't do it by yourself with the physician. And it's very challenging to keep mama alive during that whole thing, for sure. But I only had to witness one. And every time we brought it up after then, the doctor would turn green. Every time. He just knew for sure he was going to lose mama on that one. Yeah, it was a rough one. But he didn't. Mama lived. What do y'all think the CPT code is going to be on this one? Definitely going to be a 5-9. I know, a heart attack. She did. Yeah, I did labor and delivery for a very long time. The lady that had this procedure done was actually a friend of mine, who our kids used to play together. Her daughter and my oldest, who's 33 now, used to play together. And she had a son after this. And we were neighbors, and she's like, I want to come to you. Who's your OB doctor? Who do you work for? I want to come there. So she started coming to our hospital and seeing us in our hospital clinic. And Boy, when she went into labor with that one, she had a time. Just got done with senior night. Awesome, Erin. We're doing a fill in the blank OB and delivery. How would you code a previous C-section delivery, but we're going to attempt a natural birth after a C-section for this child. But during her delivery, her uterus ruptures and we end up having to do an emergency cesarean and an emergency hysterectomy. So we've already got the patient open. We've got the baby out. How do we deal with billing the cesarean first? Even though that's, I don't know if that's going to be her primary code. Would you do the hysterectomy? Is probably a more extensive procedure, right? So we'd bill the hysterectomy first and then the C-section second. Or we've got a add-on code. Nice. Yep. So right here, is she going to be a 595 or a 596? What do you guys think? It does say that the doctor did the prenatal and will do the post-op care. Good job. Yes, I agree. And then we have another code that we can add on for that total hysterectomy afterwards. Do y'all know where that code is listed in the OB section of this book? You don't have to go back to the hysterectomy codes, and you can stay here in your OB and delivery codes. So, you know, under your natural deliveries, we don't have any add-on codes. But when you're over here in your C-section codes, the 9.5s, there is an add-on code right there. And if you look over here at our combo codes, there's no more add-on codes on the second one where you end up doing a second C-section. The only add-on code in labor and delivery section is right there, that 2.5 code. And this is a subtotal or total hysterectomy after a cesarean delivery. And it tells you which codes to use it with, which are 9618 is listed there, so we can use it there. But that's the only add-on code in this area. And we can use that one. We wouldn't go over to the hysterectomy section and add one of those. So if I was AAPC, I would try to hide this add-on code and put answers in with the 18 with like a regular hysterectomy code from the hysterectomy section, you know, over in, I don't know where would it be? Where are those hysterectomy codes? Yeah. Somewhere over in here. Yeah. One of these 581 codes or something. That would be a good area to try to trick y'all in. Let's see if I have any answers down for this one. I can't remember. I do. Oh, I even have the diagnosis codes. We didn't even do those. But yeah, there's the answers and the rationale to that. I'll eventually come up with some A, B, C, D's, but I didn't have any or couldn't find any when I was working with that question. All right, here's another one. You guys still awake? Still with me? Her brain's churning? All right, don't worry about the secondary codes. Let's just deal with the first codes first. 2 of them are 09 and 2 of them are 14. What's our differences between those 2 codes? Let's get back over here. 9409 is vaginal audit delivery only. And then the 14 is just delivery of a placenta. What was the outcome of this delivery? Looks like we got 2 pages. She will return home for her postpartum care. Ah, she's visiting from out of state. Are we an 09 or are we a 14? What do you guys think? I got 21 of you on and 16 likes. Thank you so much. 7 new YouTube members. Ships given out. Awesome. We're going to keep our 14s. We'll get rid of our 09s. Because all Doc had to do was catch that placenta. We don't have to worry about the second code because it's there for both answers. So don't bother looking it up. The only difference is we do have the 26 listed in both, is whether we are 062.3 or if we are an 073.0. This answer is the same in both. They have this answer in both. And then they got this floating 070 or an 073 going on. Remember we had to code diagnosis code wise earlier. The laceration was coded first. And it looks like she does have a 2nd degree laceration. That might be a hint. Do you remember what our diagnosis code was for that laceration before when it was 2nd degree? And you know, that's really helpful is to go on and write the ICD-10 examples too somewhere over here in your CPT book. That prevents you from having to open up another book during the middle of your exam. These things that are in these practice exam questions, they come up over and over again, like this 2nd degree tear. You've already looked up the diagnosis code once. If we had written it in the CPT book, then you wouldn't have to be looking it up again. Same concept. Go on and write it down. You can just put really easily what it was equals 2nd degree tear. Then you'll have it and you don't have to look it up again. It is D. Good job, guys. Our 073. That one's for our placentia hemorrhage, which would have been the most emergent thing for sure, because active bleeding mom, as long as that is attached to mom, you have to turn that off quickly. Then we've got our preterm labor, of course, and then we've got our laceration, and then we've got our status, the baby was born healthy, and then how many weeks she was, right? But all those you can write in your book. I doubt you'd have a placenta rupture on your CPC exam, maybe a COC, but this one right here for the second degree tear, I bet that would be on CPC exam. So, and don't forget about your matching your weeks. That's always on your exam. Diagnosis codes. What do you do when your mama has hypertension secondary to renal disease, complicating her pregnancy? What goes first? Are we going to do a hypertension? Are we going to do an OB? Are we going to do hypertension, or are we going to do kidney? We do have 29 weeks. Y'all know that's one of my favorite things to look for, right? They don't always use it, especially if they're just in the ER or somewhere other than seeing an OB doctor. We can't really tell who this person's seeing, but keep that in mind. It might not be in every single answer if they're not seeing an OB. If they're in the ER, sometimes they leave those off. But I would match up, since it is in some of these answers, but I get rid of B and C so quick and just keep these two because they've got the weeks matching up, right? And that's a lot less for me to deal with. And we know she has chronic renal disease. One of these answers has a kidney disease in it, and one of them doesn't. So, without opening a book and just looking for your weeks and then matching your kidney disease, you can tell what your answer is. If you keep your head, right? There you go. Perfect. Good job, guys. What about this one? We've got 2 with CPT and 2 with HitPix. We've got 16 week, 16 week, and 16 week. How far along? 16 week. So we've got one answer that doesn't have it in it. But if they're in the ER, they may not require it. Yeah. So let's think about something else real quick. Mild preeclampsia with edema, and they send her home. Horrifying. What would be her diagnosis? Would that be 4 diagnoses, 2, would you be an O13 or an O14? What do you guys think? This one does have some outdated info in it that should not be in it, which is this one. one word. I'm going to change it. Oh my gosh. There we go. They don't do the detailed stuff anymore. Changed it all to appropriate. I hope this has been helpful. Yep, we've got a combo code for our preeclampsia pregnancy. Yep, in our 14. And we do not do symptom, we do how far along they are. Yep. A is correct. Good job. What about when you have triplets born at 32 weeks pregnancy? What's your answer for that? We know because they're delivering, right? And they're 32 weeks. Let's look for that 32. Get rid of any answers without the 32. So we got rid of D, right? D cannot be the answer because it does not have our 32 code in it. Would we have 3 diagnoses, 2 or 3? Do we start off with Z codes or do we start off with O codes? What do you normally see in answers? Yep, another A. I don't have any rationale for that one. I'll try to get some. Radiology. How do we do triplet ultrasound? Y'all still with me? Not too tired yet? 7, 6, 8. 15, 16, or 01? $16 is per fetus. 15, how do they word it? Is for all fetuses. And 801 is for trimester, first trimester. First trimester. What are we doing? We're doing heart rate and position. She's 25 weeks, so she's definitely not in the first trimester. $16 is a follow-up. 15 is position and volume. What do you guys think? So glad, Aaron. That's awesome. Can't believe you're listening to me in your car while you're riding down the highway. When I started my career in medicine, going to college and stuff like that, we had none of that technology. That's amazing. And live, while I'm talking here in Arizona, she's riding around in a car on a highway or whatever, roads, listening to me. It's fascinating. Yep, we're gonna be C. Definitely C. Good job, guys. What about this one? Same thing. Our 801 is trimester. Our 76811 is we're doing the full detailed fetal and mom evaluation, but this one's an upgraded version where we're also doing the amniotic fluid, making sure that the amniotic fluid is good. So it's not a trimester, but it's a full OB with a bonus amnio. 13 is another trimester one. And 16 is a follow-up. We are 12th week, so she is still in her first trimester. She has a 3-year-old with Down syndrome. So we've requested to make sure and take great care in looking at this particular fetus. To see if Down syndrome might have been passed on down to this one too. What do you guys think? They're really doing a good job of trying to confuse you and make you think that you need 11 because it's got the detailed fetal amniotic examination. And here, the question, it says the physician requests the amount of fluid behind the neck of the fetus to be measured. "11 says it's does a normal fetal and maternal evaluation plus a detailed amniotic examination, where 13 says first trimester fetal translucency measurement. She is carrying twins, so we will need our secondary code for all of these codes, which you're going to see your add-on codes right after. The 13 has the 14, the 11 has the 12, the 01 has the 02, and if you think it's 16, it's per fetus. So you would write the code down twice with the 59 modifier afterwards. What do you guys think? If it's 16, that's a re-evaluation for fetal size, standard growth parameters, amniotic fluid volume. It's a re-evaluation of the kid's organ systems also, but we are suspecting or confirming an abnormality being present on a previous scan. We don't have that info. We just know she had a previous pregnancy that the outcome was a genetic difference of Down syndrome. It is C. I tried to pick 11 when I did this question, but 13 is what they call the correct one, the translucency measurement. That is what the fluid behind the neck of the fetus being measured is. It's a particular part of the anatomy or fluid area in the sac, not the entire thing, which would have been the 11. 11 is the entire amniotic volume in the entire thing. This is specific to a particular location. I'll get more rationale and stuff like that figured out and posted on this one when I finish updating these questions. What about HIV, AIDS, diagnoses that are related to HIV and AIDS, but you got a pregnant patient? What goes first? Do we have HIV, then her pregnancy, then the pneumonia? Do we have the pregnancy, HIV, then the pneumonia, and how many weeks she is? I don't know if we know where she's located, like if she's seeing her OB doctor or if she's in the ER, but we do have a patient in her 19th week pregnancy. She is diagnosed with a pneumonia and she does have AIDS. You probably will see a question like this on your exam. So knowing the sequencing and having an example written in your books is super helpful. Yeah, it's a good note to add on. Yeah, I agree. Would we have, I like to count, 3 or 4 diagnoses? She's 19 weeks, has pneumonia, has AIDS, and is pregnant, right? 19-week pregnancy, she is pregnant, so we still got to do that status. She does have pneumonia and she has AIDS. So I count 4. Now we know the sequencing, at least we know the OB goes first. Would HIV go first or a Z21 after that? Yeah. And Z21 is not the code for AIDS anyway, right? Yep, C. Good job. HIPICS codes. Somebody had asked me about HIPICS questions. So we've got A's and K's in our HIPICS book. Where is my HIPICS book? I do have HIPICS notes that are available on my website at aapc or medicalcodingbyjen.com. I'm sorry. AAPC has a knowledge center that you can go on and look to see if they have any articles written about some of these codes in case you have issues with. No, that's not HIPICS either. Where is my HIPICS book? There it is. With any of these, I love their knowledge center. The only thing is they don't have a full catalog of every kind of code that they've done articles on, but the ones that they've done on, sometimes they have some good info. Same thing, just like with the ICD-10 or CPT, I'm just going to look for chapter headers. The A's chapter header is all for medical and surgical supplies, and if I go to the K's, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, J, and then K. If I go to the K's, we have durable and medical equipment. What are we dealing with? We're dealing with 2 leg straps for a wheelchair. Is that going to be a K? Or is that going to be a surgical supply? I would think it's going to be the K, the durable med. So I would start off with these 2 codes. and go look that up real quick. So K0038. K0038. Poor James. His ribs are going to be so sore from coughing. He's just barking. All right, K0038. Legs strap each. So it looks like you do get to, are you going to times them by 2 or code it by itself? Yep. It says each. Anything with an each means you get to times 2 it. So, yeah. I know this question doesn't have the normal X in it like AAPC like. I think it came from CCS. So they have different annotations, but I'll fix these up eventually. What about this HitPix one? We've got all J92s. It's just a difference between 80, 70. We're looking for metamycin given intravenously. So J92, is that chemo? J92, 80. And 70. It's chemo, even though it's a myosin, and it's 5 milligrams. What was ordered was 40. So if it comes in 5 milligrams and 40 was ordered, how many 5s are there in 40? And get out those fingers. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. My kids always try to act embarrassed about using their fingers to do math with, and I'm like, Lord, God gave you those fingers. Use them. Get at them. Get out the fingers and toes. It don't matter. Use them. I'm not sure. I don't know enough about billing to know what the heck they mean by which code is reported from Medicare under AAPS. I know what kind of code is required by Medicare, right? We don't use CPTs. If we can, we use HitPix, right? So I don't know what AAPS means, but I know Medicare means HitPix. So I would go straight to B and D. I don't use my CPC or CPMA for my job in a billing capacity, so. And I know we've seen and I answer questions about OPPS and stuff, but don't know what that means. Maybe you guys can teach me something about it. GO. This question has been one of the practice exam questions for a long time, but it's also rewritten and is on the coding exam in a different form. The main thing is to make sure in this book, for sure, that you guys notice that, like this 06 is a sigmoid. It's a barium enema. It's not a colonoscopy, right? So our 05 is a colonoscopy. Great. Our 04 is a flexible sig. So looking inside here and knowing that some of them are sigmoids, some of them are barium enemas, because there's another barium enema across here. This one's a 0122, and then 0121 is colonoscopy that does not meet the criteria for high risk, and then the one over here, the 0105, does meet for the high risk. High risk means that if they've had a history of polyps in the past, that's an increase for high risk. But also, some of them are barium enemas, some of them are sigmoids. Be sure you note those differences in it. I was saying on my website at medicalcodingbyjen.com, I've got all of the notes in one PDF for the entire HipPix book available if you need them. I haven't updated them for 2024, but I'm real happy with what I have posted and don't see that those would change even if I did do an update. There's not any new codes that I can find yet, and no one has said that any new codes are on the exam. So the ones I have posted have all those differences marked out and stuff like that for you. Just be careful in this section that you truly are picking either a colonoscopy, a sigmoid, a flexible sigmoid scope versus barium enemas and other things. And plus, you still have to worry about whether they're high risk or no risk at all. But we have high risk noted. And we know that Medicare is always going to want a G code. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. It's how Medicare determines hospital payments. I work in hospitals. Outpatient prospective payment system. I have just like totally refused to learn anything remotely related to billing, and I shut my ears off and have just stood my ground like Shirley Temple and stomped my foot and fold my arms and won't listen to any meetings about billing. I don't do it. And I just shut my ears when I hear stuff like this, and I figured it was something about payment system. Oh, why do we have to charge sick people for care? It doesn't make me, they're sick. We have the technology to fix them. Fix them. We don't need a payment system. What? Makes no sense to me. I'm stubborn. All right. Did everybody get B? Payment system. Bunch of hogwash. All right. Here's our JW, which is a modifier in the HipPix book. Don't forget that your HipPix book has every single modifier listed in it, especially the ones that are not listed in the CPT book. There's a lot of modifiers. There are so many modifiers, starting with like A1, and then it goes all the way, C's, E's, H's, J's, K's, Q's, U's, T's, all the way to XU. All those right here are all modifiers. You could be asked about any of them. Some of them we've heard about. Of course, are the anesthesia ones. They're in the Q's. SH, whatever's going on with that. And SN, seen those mentioned on some medical coding exams. SN, and you could just read the definition here. Just having and knowing where to find what the definitions are will be good enough to being able to pick out the answer. This is something about a third surgical opinion. And then SH is a second. Administered infusion therapy. Totally different, even though they're both starting off with S. One says second, one says third, but they're totally different, second and thirds. Whatever. But just be sure you know where to find this list in your HipPix book, because they're very different. Optum has them all over, and AAPC has them in a different spot, so be sure you know where to look for those. And our JW indicates what? Which one of these answers? Would we be multi-dose, a vial, a vial, a vial? We have 3 answers that have the word vial in it and only one that has multi-dose in it. I always find that interesting. I still like to look for similarities and irregularities in the multiple choice ones. D and C. C is a vial of medication that was opened but not administered to any patient. D is to indicate part of the vial was used on a patient, requiring the rest to be discarded. It is D, because we had to discard the rest of it. And I think this is mainly used for Medicare. Yeah, Medicare claims. Yep. All right, guys. I hope this was super helpful. We did a ton of OB and delivery. I'm going to work on these questions too and get some rationale on those last few that I didn't finish grabbing and posting some rationale on. And you'll see them again. But I hope it was helpful. For sure. And the ones that I had were fill in the blanks. I'll get some A, B, C's, and D's for those, and we'll redo those again too. But hopefully it gives you a lot better confidence, of course, for being able to deliver or see what examples look like when you have natural deliveries, C-section deliveries, or the combo code where we know we had C-section previously. We're going to try to do natural today, but we end up doing a C-section again, what the answer would be. And of course, you know exactly what the answer is. If it's twins, both born by C-section, you know what the answer is. You also know what the answer is if you have twins and one's born naturally and one's born by C-section. And you've got those written in your books now. And we know how to eliminate answers super quickly by looking for the weeks in the answers. And then that can help get you down to a 50-50 shot a lot of times. Poor James. I've got to take him. He is really bad in there. I'm sitting here. He cannot. Yeah, I'm going to have to hook him up to the breathing treatment machine. He is not doing well. If he can't, he's not going 30 seconds without barking. He's down to like 15 seconds between barks right now. So sorry, I'm getting distracted. So you guys have learned a lot tonight, and don't forget about the second degree tear too. Y'all can add that to your CPT book. So you learned a lot. Y'all won't get these wrong during your regular medical coding exam for sure. I am going to run and give him a breathing treatment on the machine. I think I have some albuterol in this house. I used it all on my cat, Robbie Roo, when I was losing him, but I think I have another file here. If not, we'll go to urgent care, but he's going to need a breathing treatment. Oh. Thank you much, guys. No worries, no worries. He's fine. I'm sure I've got a breathing treatment machine. I know I've got an albuterol one here. He's just barking. One little 15-minute treatment will make him feel a whole lot better. It's just viral, whatever he's got. But I know he's uncomfortable right now, and he's just going to break a rib coughing so much right now. So, which isn't the worst thing. It's just, you know how sore your ribs get when you have one of those coffee coughs. But anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all hanging out with me. I'm sorry the first 35 minutes was me putting these questions together, and I wasn't 100% prepared. But hopefully, I won't be that way later on. I'll be back on. We're going to be prepping for my workshop we're going to have on the 18th. I still have to post that up on the website. I haven't done that yet, but I've got to prep 75 questions between now and then for that. And I hope tonight was super helpful. I appreciate you guys. Yeah, he will be just fine. Yep, y'all rewatch. Thank you so much, Miss Sheila. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you for saying that. I know somebody said on that I'm like super popular on Discord, not Discord, Reddit or something. I'm not even, I think I have a Reddit account, but I'm not social on it. And I don't know, apparently there's a bunch of GOAT members on Reddit that talk about me over there. So every time I see the word GOAT, I think about Reddit. So it's kind of funny. I hope you guys have a great weekend. I'll be back on TikTok and YouTube Monday through Thursday next week. And also Super Bowl weekend. Who are y'all voting for? And I will be on TikTok this weekend, Saturday and Sunday. When I can, I will go live and we'll do some more practice questions. But I hope this was helpful as always. I love you guys and I'm so proud of you. And y'all hang in there. See y'all later. Good night, Christine. Good night, Go-Kart. Thanks, Mabel. Thanks, everybody, for all your support and all the thumbs up. Really appreciate it.